What would be helpful today?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, so much. But thank you so much for setting up this time. Like I'm
Yeah,
so happy I was able to get in this month. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
absolutely. Yeah.
I think today what I would like to talk about is the classic moving off insurance panels and
Mhm.
trying to just it's been something that's been floating in my head for the last couple of months of dropping a specific panel that I'm on.
Mhm.
Like so much fear. So yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one thing I would say that's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to contextualize everything of
Sure.
like, this is a weird year, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I'd be like, just hop off, whatever, no big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
So I want to understand how much of your practice is currently like being paid for by that insurance company? Like
Mhm.
what percentage of your clientele?
I would say from that specific company, I would say nine of
Okay.
my clients. I
Nine out
have
of how
three,
many? Yeah.
15,
Okay.
15. So I keep a small caseload because I can't see that many people
Love
a
it.
week.
Good.
But, so I would say like, yeah, maybe like 9, 10 people. I would say they're the biggest payer. So I'll definitely give it
Mhm.
that. They're the
Okay.
ones that bring in the most people. Then I have three from a different panel. Oh, and then three private pay. So
Mhm.
there's quite a mix there. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And a certain percentage of these nine people are going to stay on with you and pay out of pocket. Is
Yeah.
everybody worries about that? They're like, well, you don't know
Yeah.
my clients, Allison.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know your clients, but
Yeah.
I can say with a like strong amount of assuredness that some of
Hmm.
them slash maybe all of them will stay on with you.
Yeah.
So we are seeing people spreading out more than
Yeah.
we used to.
Hmm.
So, like I said, 2 years ago, if you were like, I want
Yeah.
to go off insurance panels, I'd be like, sweet, like let's make sure that your marketing is tight so you can continue to
Yeah.
get private pay people
Hmm.
in. Um, and then like let's just go off and most of your clients will probably stay with you. Like we were looking at usually about 90% of people's caseload would stay on with them. We're still
Yeah.
seeing a lot of people staying on,
Yeah.
but they are spreading out. So like instead
Yeah.
of being weekly, they might go to every other week. So that
Yeah.
could feel like let's say 3/4 of your people stay with you, but a certain percentage of them go to every other week. It can feel like you
Hmm.
lost half of that caseload.
Hmm.
So then we got to do math, which is
Yeah.
therapists we don't always love, but
Yeah.
this is the math I like. Um,
Yes.
how much is that insurance company reimbursing for your typical session?
127.
Okay. And what is your current, or what is the fee that they will be paying out of pocket?
So my out-of-pocket fee is 225.
Okay. So you're in a good position where if it feels like half of those sessions per week end
Hmm.
up going away, with
Hmm.
that kind of a leap, you're in a much better position, right?
Yeah.
Like it's more
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, now I've got to do math because I don't want to be like, it's more like this number. Um, so let's use all nine at
Hmm.
127. So that's $1,143 per week.
Hmm.
And at 225, that same number is 2025. So, I mean, we know from 127 to 225, like it's nearly double, but not quite there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
I think, sorry, I cut you off.
yeah, well, just like I think you'll be in a good position. Like you'll be either making more money or not be like losing much
Yeah.
if a
Honestly.
kind of typical amount of people stay on.
Stay on.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that breakdown actually is quite helpful because,
Good.
I think sometimes they think of like, some of my clients are paying like $0 per session because their insurance is covering all of it.
Right.
Some are paying, 20, 30, like it's just like such like, and I think it brings up a lot of like definitely like the am I good enough for the full fee for people to be like, oh, like because I've had some clients drop due to insurance changes and it's like
Mhm.
of course that stings a little bit, but ultimately like people do what's best for them.
Mhm.
So it's always like kind of like in the back of my head, like, like I think I'm very much in, so this is my first year in private practice, driven by like that
Mhm.
fear, like, oh, like this is scary, but I know it's something I want to do because I fundamentally dislike insurance companies. I think that, over the past year, rates have gotten reduced, like, just like different, like I think that 127 used to be like almost 140 at some
Oh,
point, and then
wow.
it just got reduced. So it just doesn't feel lucrative as
Hmm.
much. And I think that even just like having that breakdown of doing the math is helpful. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, ultimately, like you've got private pay clients, so you know how to
Yeah.
bring people in.
Yeah.
Um, there are people who can't, who you're currently working with who will not be able to pay out of pocket
Of
potentially.
course. Yeah.
There might be some of them, and they need to go according to their insurance to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then there are people who can't afford it. Like
Yeah.
it's been nice for them to be able to use their insurance, but they feel like their relationship with you is strong enough. They don't want to start over. They like the work y'all are doing together, and so they'll
Yeah.
make it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and a lot of this is in how it's framed. So
Mm,
the I've seen some people lose like their whole caseload because they come at it from this perspective of, I'm getting off your insurance. So I can give you referrals to other people. Like
mm,
they just make the assumption nobody's going to stay with them.
mm,
And I want you
mhm,
to make the assumption that everybody's going to stay with you while
mm,
also having good referral sources to send people to when they say, I really, I can't make that work financially.
yeah.
It's kind of like the people who assume when you get your first phone call from a client that they want to make an appointment. Those people fill up so much more from phone calls than the people who are like, well, yeah, think about it and give me a call back when you want to schedule. Um,
Mm,
if you frame it in your own head, like it's a mindset thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it is also how you present it to them so that you I keep going back to that first phone call because it feels so similar to me. If you say, my fee is 225 and you don't even give them a chance to respond and you say, but I can slide down to, 75 if
Mm.
you need,
Oh,
then
I've
people,
run into that before. Oh,
yeah, it's so human, right? Like so
yeah.
many of us do that.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been on the receiving end of that as a client and had to like hold myself back from coaching someone.
Mhm.
But there's a certain amount of like confidence going into
Yeah.
that conversation and
Yeah.
saying like I would love, we've got scripts for it in the party,
Yeah.
of basically like I would love to continue working together after this
Mhm,
change. Is that something you can make work? And if they
mhm.
say no, then be like, I totally get that. And I'm going to
Yeah.
find some really great referrals for you that I
Yeah.
think will be a good fit clinically and personality wise. So
Yeah.
that they feel
Yeah.
well cared for.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean,
Mm,
ultimately, I would not underestimate the impact of your relationship.
yeah.
And if someone can't
That's
afford it,
true.
they probably will.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Because I've done it with my own therapist and,
Yeah.
personally it's and of course like we can't speak for everyone that you like you said like there's some people that really might need to go through their insurance because
Hmm.
finances are tight or like they just need to, right?
Yeah.
Some people might not, and it's or might want to choose to pay or choose to kind of like I think it's within me as a clinician, as a human, it's that fear of change, or like I think we
Mhm.
overestimate like the negative what ifs happening,
Yes.
versus like I really, really love what you said about making the assumption everyone will stay. It doesn't mean that everybody will, but at least going into it with that mindset, and it really is all about mindset. So I do,
Yeah.
agree with that, because even just like saying that out loud, I'm like, wait, you know, that feels good.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the anticipation of these kinds of changes is so much worse than the actual conversations 99% of
yeah,
the time. Every
yeah,
now and then I'll have a conversation with the therapist who was like, it was all going so well. And then I told this one client she got so mad at me and she called me selfish and greedy. But that's
mm,
like 1 out of 100 therapists that I work with who all have a
yeah,
caseload full of people they're talking to.
yeah,
So
yeah,
probably it's going to go over well. And
yeah,
like I hear more therapists say, yeah, I had a client say, it's about time, or good for you, or worth every
mm,
penny, or whatever. Like I go to a concierge doctor here, and they recently sent out an email about how they were having to raise rates for it's like a
oh,
monthly payment that we do. And I
mhm.
wrote back because I know how it is. And I was like, it's worth every penny. And she was like,
Oh
I
my
pinned
God.
this to the top. We all needed to see this today because I don't think this is going to be what we hear from most people.
Oh
So
my God.
it's
Yeah,
just knowing that like what you were doing with people matters
yeah,
and they're getting the benefit of therapy with you.
yeah,
And if they leave, it's not because
absolutely.
they're not getting benefit, it's because like their financial
Something else.
situation doesn't allow it. Yeah.
Yeah, Absolutely. It's interesting that you said that about you saying that to your the doctor's office. Because I had a client this past week. Interestingly enough, she's on that panel, but she was like, "Hey, do you have any other times available this week?" And I was like, "No, I'm all full. I don't have anything else." 'Cause she wanted to reschedule. She was like, "Oh, it sucks that we can't make something work, but I'm so happy to hear that you're full. Like, way to go." I
Mhm.
was like, "Wait, that's so sweet. Thank you."
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think, to kind of just like our point earlier of like anticipating the negatives happening or people, because I'm anticipating people to be like, "You're such a selfish, B word, right?
Hmm.
Like you're greedy or this or that." Like it feels like that's what's gonna happen. Like that
Uh-huh.
people, and you know what, there might be a person, I don't know.
Right.
But
Well,
it
and
feels like, yeah,
that's your own stuff, right? Like
I
that's just
know.
you projecting.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
like there's some juicy stuff to work out there.
I know. I know. So
Um,
much juicy stuff because it's
yeah,
it's like, like I feel like I'm anticipating them being mad at me or just, but it's like not, it's like so not about them.
right. And it's probably
Yeah.
like if you thought about each individual client, like you gave each client some thought and you thought, would they call me a selfish bitch? You'd probably be like, of course they
Oh,
wouldn't.
I work with like some of the sweetest people. Like
Yeah.
they're just such kind humans. So I don't think so. I think it's just like I'm anticipating the backlash that probably doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I did have a question kind of on that tail end. What do you think is, so I have my website, I have like all these like a shit ton of directories that I'm a part of. What else to do to market? Like it's just like not something that was taught. Like marketing,
Hmm.
putting myself out there, especially social media, it feels very intimidating and so
Hmm.
scary.
Yeah. Have you done the marketing fundamentals course yet?
No, I know I'm part of like the abundance practice, like
Yeah, yeah.
that whole the party right up
Yeah.
until I think December. So I don't know if that's on there, if this is a separate thing.
Yeah, it's on there. It's on there.
Okay.
So it's marketing fundamentals one and two. One is primarily focused on the two things everybody needs to be doing. So networking and making sure your website is like super niched and well messaged.
Hmm.
And then marketing fundamentals two is like all the other options.
Okay.
So you can choose up to three of those, including one of which is online listings, and
Hmm.
making sure that the way that your listings are written are very, like, really grab your ideal client. They feel very seen,
Hmm.
so they immediately choose you. So
Okay.
you can, if you, when you go through that, all of the different marketing strategy options, there's a is it for me at the beginning of each
Hmm.
one.
Okay.
Don't dive into like how to do each one. Just look at the is it
Okay.
for me for each one
Okay.
to like not waste your time on something that you know isn't for you.
Okay.
And then when you're like, maybe this is for me, I think, I think maybe video or I think maybe social media would be good. Then go into the best practices video and learn how to do it.
Okay.
That
Okay.
way, you're not wasting
It's
any
not
of your time.
overwhelming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I
And you
feel
don't need
like,
to know how to do, public speaking if you don't want to public
yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah. I like that. I guess, I think part of what's been overwhelming for me is like I feel like I'm holding myself to the standard to like do something that's not that I know isn't exactly me. Like social media, maybe right here, right now, is not a path that I want to go down because
Yeah,
not saying I will always be in that boat, but you know, I like that there's like options for different things.
yeah. You never ever have to do social media.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I've not done social media for my private practice.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
not necessary. It's
yeah.
a route. If you loved it, if you loved content
Mm.
creation, then I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about it.
I
But
overthink everything,
yeah,
and people in the comments are mean, and
mhm,
it's just like
they can be. So like, yeah, you can just skip that, do something else.
maybe right here, right now, it's not the thing for me, but I think just like exploring other options might be helpful as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What are your, I guess, so there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of projection stuff to work through. What do you think is like the best route of like working through it as clinicians, as business owners? Like
Mhm.
what's important to prioritize? Because there's just so much and all this stuff brings up so much.
Yeah. So I mean, I like looking at data. I
Okay.
think data really saves us.
Mm,
Because our emotions, as therapists, we tend to be feely types, right?
yeah.
And it's really easy to spin out and assume something's going to go a particular way.
Mm,
So I like data and I like information. So if I know how,
Mm,
like what I'm going to do, what my next steps are, how to do them right, then I
yeah,
feel a lot safer than if I'm like, if I don't have that clarity.
yeah,
Um, so like doing the math, for instance, once you've done the
yeah,
math and you're like, okay, well, I could actually lose six of these clients, but I'll be
yeah.
making the same amount of money. I don't think that number's
Mm,
right. You need to do the actual math, but like,
yes, of course.
a certain number of these clients and I'll be fine
Mm,
financially and can build from there.
yeah,
Then there's relief in it.
yeah,
Instead of just being like, oh gosh, I'm going to lose clients and it's going to be awful. How am I going to make ends meet? Am I going to be able to build it back up? Like, yeah,
mm, mm,
you do the math, you figure out what the margins are.
yeah,
So like you'll make the same amount if you lose X number of clients.
yeah,
You will make less, but still be able to pay your bills without
yeah,
concern if you lose Y number of clients.
yeah,
And like things are too tight and bad if you lose Z number of clients.
yeah.
And so you have that data so that if you're somewhere in between X and Y, you're still
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah,
That it's not
yeah,
exactly where you want to be, but it's not Z.
yeah, yeah,
Because we can hop to Z really quickly.
yeah. We can assume that Z is the only option
Yeah,
and just kind of like build our reality off
yeah,
of that. But yeah, no, the looking at the data and kind of like grounding ourselves in it and the information that's available, I think. Yeah, I think that's absolutely helpful. Do you, and I don't know if this is a question I can ask, I'm going to ask it and you tell me.
yeah.
Assuming that you've worked with a lot of clinicians who are hoping to get off of panels and, all these things, what is an appropriate notice to give clients? Because I'm
Mhm.
thinking like 6 months, right? I just
Oh
want to
no.
prepare. I'm like, oh my God, like 6 months. I want to tell them in September that I'll be going off in like January, February, just to prepare them. Like I'm like very much like centering their experience, which is, I think it makes me an effective clinician. But at the same time, it's like, is that too much? Like, but I also don't want to give
Yeah,
like 2 weeks either. So I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I usually recommend 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
I don't
six to
know.
8 weeks.
Yeah, that gives them plenty
It's
of
like two
time.
months. Yeah.
Yeah, most people are going to be just fine, because they're
Okay.
staying.
Yeah.
And that gives you adequate time to be able to arrange a handoff to another therapist if
Okay.
somebody is leaving, while also wrapping up some of the work you're doing.
Yeah, six
So,
to 8 weeks. Okay, so definitely not 6 months.
no, no.
Just-
Yeah, I
I feel like
appreciate you
I'm such
wanting to
like
take good care.
like I feel like, but sometimes it's like it comes at my own detriment because it's like, wait, 6 months, like that's a lot of time.
A lot of
Um,
time. Yeah.
and it's like I'm sure clients would appreciate it, but it felt like too much at the same time.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, okay, so glad to know there's like a golden standard of like this 6 to 8 week period and just kind of it's yeah, 8 weeks is like 2 months, so that makes
Mhm.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we've got like scripts for things in the Abundance Party. We have the
Oh,
course,
I saw.
like
Yeah.
getting off insurance without going broke and selling out.
Yeah.
So that one has some scripts, and some of the same
Yeah.
scripts I believe are in the scripts and templates course.
Yeah.
So you've got like the words to use if you're like, but I don't even know what to say. You can literally just like paste them into your notes app, and you've got it right there anytime you need to call someone or send an email or however you're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask, this is more of a personal question. Do you see
Mhm.
clients one-on-one or do you like
Mhm.
primarily do coaching and so
Yeah, I primarily do abundance, but I do still see
okay,
clients. Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's pretty
can't give
cool.
it up. I love therapy. Like I'll
I
probably
know.
never not do therapy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you feel like how did you, I know we don't have that much time, but I'm just for my own curiosity and then just like
Mhm.
getting to know you a little bit. How did you like what led you to start Abundance?
Oh, so I had been in agencies for a while
Yeah.
and was like the employee always getting like
Mm,
exceeds expectations, like just
hmm.
like, like just a little
Yeah.
worker bee who wanted to make everybody happy and still wasn't really getting raises and still like
Oh,
wasn't able to take the annual leave I had earned at the time I
yeah.
wanted to take it and things like that. And I'd had a small private practice on the side for like 5 years,
Hmm.
and was like, screw this. And I decided screw this at a really inopportune time. I decided when my husband and I were moving across the country to a city where we didn't know anyone. So I was
Okay.
like, well, I'll start a private practice in a city where I don't know anyone. That's a great idea. And when I did, like once it really got rolling, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working
Hmm.
so much less. and
Hmm.
I'm making so much more. And I
Hmm.
have like spaciousness, and no one is like breathing down my neck while making me feel like I'm doing a great job without doing it well enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I just fell so in love with it. I started kind of bullying my friends into private practice. I was like, no, you don't understand. I only worked this
Hmm.
many hours this week, and this is how much I
Yeah.
made. And so I started helping my friends.
Yeah.
And then that kind of, and we moved back across the country to the southeast to Asheville. And it just came out of my mouth one day at a networking event that I liked helping people with their private practices. And I got kind of like mobbed right afterwards with all these people who were like, I've been wanting to go into private practice, or I'm in private practice, but I'm not getting clients. And so
Mm.
I started my first group then, like 11 years ago almost.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
actually that event was August 20th. It was on my birthday. So it was August 20th. And I like started a group and helped those
Mm.
folks get full, and then took it very quickly from like local to national to international. And
Hmm.
it just like it's fun. It's
Yeah.
the skill set that therapists don't realize they're so perfectly positioned to have. Like the hardest part of marketing for other industries is understanding what their prospects are thinking and feeling. And like
Yeah.
they tell us,
Yeah. Yeah.
we know how to connect with them.
Yeah.
And when we're good at that, people get the care they need because they're not
Yeah.
still looking, trying to find the right fit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, hey, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about like your story and your journey. And it's interesting how like it's these, those things that happen along the way that like set our path, like
Hmm.
just like create a different path for us. Like,
Yeah,
like had you
entirely.
not been in that networking event, it's
Hmm.
like so that's like really, I mean, that's just so inspirational. So thank you so much
Well,
for sharing it.
thanks.
And also like your passion does come across in your videos and like everything that you share, like it really, really does come across.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's it's definitely really like on the receiving end, it feels like there's support, even though like
Hmm.
I mean now we're having the one-on-one conversation, but like
Yeah.
it feels like just like kind of like from consuming the what you put out there and stuff like that. It's um yeah, it feels really good to be on the receiving end.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Good.
All right. I
Awesome.
think those were all the questions for today.
Sounds good.
Those were all the things that I wanted to talk through and just kind of like seek your feedback or input on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And post
what
in
I
the
got on my.
Facebook group if you like, let me know how it's going.
Okay.
And so many people in there have gotten off insurance. So you're like in good company if you're like, I
Okay.
just got really scared out of nowhere, even though like I know on some level it's going to be fine. I got scared and
Mm,
I just need someone else to tell me it's going to be good.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the folks in there are so sweet. So they will.
Yeah. I actually have to create a professional Facebook because I'm off Facebook, but I think creating a
Oh,
professional one might be helpful. So I
yeah,
might do that.
I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, maybe just to get in that group if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
like you don't need to post as social for your practice. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
do whatever's
All right.
easy.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate your time
Absolutely.
today. Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.